to mundo fine, night train to the end. Running hard and running fast to meet my future and away from my past. Taking the gamble that cannot last. Night train to the end.
This is the Frater SH Night Show, and our first article is new study casts doubt on Loch Ness Monster plesiosaur theory. The famous Scottish Loch Ness Monster is often said to be a plesiosaur, but just how plausible is that? The quintessential Loch Ness Monster sighting is typically that of a large, long-necked creature that appears as a head and a neck and a series of humps protruding from the water. Over the years, this has led some to speculate that the creature could be a plesiosaur, a type of prehistoric aquatic reptile, as depicted by an oft-photographed model that can be found outside the Loch Ness Exhibition Center at Drumna on the western shore of the loch. Casting aside for a moment that the fact that the plesiosaur went extinct millions of years ago, is it at all plausible that the Loch Ness Monster could be such a relic from the distant past? According to Dr. Paul Schofield of the Canterbury Museum in New Zealand, a recent study of a Elasmosaurus, which is a type of plesiosaur, has indicated that these creatures have been held their heads either at the same level or below the level of their bodies while swimming through the water. This makes it unlikely that they would have stuck their head vertically up from the water, as often depicted in photographs and drawings of the elusive Loch Ness Monster. The labyrinth of the year works best when the tiny bones within are able to hang unaffected by gravity, said Dr. Schofield. For this reason, the position of the inner ear and skull of the animal reveals a lot about how an animal habitually holds its head. We have examined the inner ear of the Elasmosaurus and had determined their resting position with the head is horizontal with the body or even well below the body. The traditional posture shown in many a popular article on Nessie, like a sock puppet, is not something Elasmosaurus were in the habit of adopting. The idea of lifting its head up like a sock puppet is extremely unlikely. Okay, next article is an entire road has been stolen in Germany. A bizarre crime involving the theft of an entire street in Saxony, Germany, has left authorities scratching their heads. According to reports, around 60 tons of cobblestones, worth 30,000 euros, were removed from a road in the city of Zittau before being hauled off by unknown perpetrators. The crime, which is thought to have taken place at some point during the 16th and 23rd of December 2021, is now being investigated by local law enforcement. It is believed that the culprits have brought heavy equipment, including an excavator, to the site, and would have also needed access to fairly large truck to haul the stolen paving stones away. Fortunately, due to the location of the scene, it isn't clear where the thieves went afterwards. Meanwhile, the stolen stones could have been in any number of neighboring countries. As things stand, all that's left of the site now is around 300 square meters of sand. And this next story is snowboarder encountered Bigfoot in Colorado Rockies. A British man who has been snowboarding in the Rockies observed a mysterious bipedal creature. A man who hails from Northumberland, England, has been invited to Aspen, Colorado, by a friend to do some snowboarding back in 2007 when the encounter occurred. On one particular occasion, he has been out in a remote part of the region at nightfall, waiting for his friend to return from an errand when he spotted someone or something up ahead of him. At first I thought it was a bear, as it was big and it was moving quickly, he wrote. Whenever I was seeing moved with a slopeful walk, I soon realized it wasn't a bear. I thought it looked like a big man wearing a large overcoat with the collar turned up. A sense of fear suddenly came over him as he continued watching. The individual suddenly took a 45-degree turn to the right and walked into the snowfield towards the trees, he wrote. It didn't slow down despite walking through 3 feet of snow, some of which would have stopped me dead in my tracks. At the time, I didn't hear or smell anything. The thing was big, though but it would be hard to gauge the exact dimensions from the distance between us. I had only been stopped for only a minute when it seemed like an hour standing there. Terrified, the man took the decision to flee the scene and skittled off on his snowboard through the slope as fast as he could go, not stopping until he reached safety. Even today, more than 10 years later, after the encounter, the exact nature of the figure he witnessed that night continues to remain a mystery. And that is all for today, and thank you.